Hi everyone, welcome to Doing Dental School. My name is Kajal Khatri. I'm a senior at Marquette University and I just got into dental school, which is so beyond exciting. So if you want to kind of follow along my dental school journey and kind of stay along and hear tips and tricks along the way, make sure you subscribe down below and also give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so today's video is so exciting. I'm beyond excited. I've been waiting a really long time to get my COVID vaccine and I finally was able to sign up. And so I thought that I would just share my experience just in case other people are interested, but then also for myself to kind of just look back on, because I feel like this is gonna be something in like 10-15 years that I look back and I'm like, oh, I remember getting that, like I remember doing that. So kind of wanted to just document my experience and also let you know some of the symptoms and things that I experienced along the way as well. And before I get started kind of telling you about my experience, I kind of just wanted to put a few things out there. First things first, this is my own experience. Obviously, everyone has different reactions and different experiences with the vaccine. So just keep in mind that this is my own personal experience. And the second thing also is that I made an informed decision to go and get the vaccine, and I made that informed decision based on a lot of reputable resources out there. So I'm gonna link some of the resources down below, and I'm kind of just following along the guidelines of what CDC is putting out there and all of the other resources that are out there to make sure that I'm doing whatever I can to kind of stop the spread and make sure that I'm taking the necessary precautions. All right, so now getting into my actual experience. So even though I am a future healthcare worker and I volunteer with a hospital, I actually wasn't able to get the vaccine earlier through that because the volunteering that I do is actually on halt right now. We're not really doing volunteering because of the pandemic. So the hospital is not giving volunteers vaccines, which totally makes sense. And I'm not really doing anything else within the healthcare industry right now. So I actually had to wait, and I became eligible through my on-campus job. So at Marquette, I am a desk receptionist at one of the residence halls. And so I have direct contact with students. So because of that, I was able to sign up for the vaccine. So on the day of my first vaccine, I actually had an appointment that was kind of far in advance, but the hospital called my house and said, hey, we have an appointment, someone just canceled, so if you want to come in right away, you can. So it's kind of like a crazy day because that morning I woke up and I didn't even know I was getting the vaccine that day, but it was really nice because we were able to get in a little earlier than I thought we were able to. So I was able to drive to the hospital. I didn't really get many like clips that day because it was kind of just like a mumbo jumbo, but luckily the nurse was very nice and she let me just like record myself getting my vaccine done. You'll also hear my sister in the background. She works directly with students through the recreational centers here, so you'll hear her in the background as well, but I'll insert that clip of me getting my first dose here.
Embracing for the worst. Oh yeah, I like almost cried during my flu shot.
You're such a weirdo.
I just don't like needles. I'm excited about this one.
I wouldn't recommend asking for a countdown.
I like this one. I just need to compare.
That's it. That's probably what freaks you out too.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna write this time on here.
Okay.
So you're gonna go here and you're gonna have a seat for 2 minutes and they're gonna observe you, okay?
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Sound first shot done.
So after getting the vaccine, we had to wait that 15 minutes in that like waiting area just to make sure that we didn't have a reaction to the vaccine or anything. So we stood there and I was totally fine. It was kind of nice. I was just like on my phone. But while we were waiting, someone went around and made our second dose appointment. So that was really nice. I got the Pfizer, so it was about 21 days later. And after my first vaccine, I really didn't have that many reactions. I was totally fine. I had a little bit of arm soreness, but I figured that that's gonna happen with any vaccine, even if it's like the flu shot. So I was really fine after the first one. So then, of course, 21 days later, I was able to go in and get my second dose. And so again, I went to the same hospital, I filled out the paperwork, and then I actually wasn't able to record me getting the shot, but I filmed a few clips of us just like going in and our way to the hospital. So I will insert that here. And yeah, when I actually got my second dose, I didn't even feel her put it in my arm. Like I didn't even feel the needle at all, which was really crazy. The nurse actually went and she like was squeezing my arm like this. And then she was like, "You're done." And I'm like, "I didn't even feel that. Like, when did you even do it?" She's like, "Well, that's because I was squeezing your arm. You weren't supposed to feel it." So I think it was just really interesting. That was just like a little tidbit that I noticed, that it's so crazy that like, you know, nurses and even all healthcare professionals kind of learn these tips and tricks to make sure that their patients aren't in pain. And then of course, after the second dose, after waiting and leaving the hospital, Krispy Kreme is giving free donuts every single day to people who have gotten both doses of their vaccine. So that was really exciting, and the hospital that we went to is actually pretty close to the Krispy Kreme. There's only one Krispy Kreme in the entire state of Wisconsin, so that's kind of sad. It's kind of far away from my house, but that's okay. But we were able to go over there and we got our free donuts, and then of course we were hungry, so we got some Taco Bell. Probably not the healthiest, but that's okay. So yeah, that's how we celebrated. And after my second dose, again, I didn't have that many side effects. I find myself really lucky to not have felt anything. Again, I had a little bit of arm soreness, but that's about it. And I think the thing that helped me, especially with the second dose, I saw probably a TikTok that if you keep like moving your arm and making sure that you're like staying active, that you don't have as much muscle soreness. So I was trying to just like move my arm and stay active that day to make sure that I didn't feel super sore, and I was totally fine. But I feel really lucky to have had that experience, because I know a lot of people have some crazy side effects, and not that crazy, but really just like a fever or some chills or something like that. But I didn't really experience any of that, which was really nice. But yeah, so that was my entire COVID vaccine experience. I feel so incredibly lucky to have gotten the vaccine, and I'm so excited. This is just a step towards like the world becoming a little bit more normal. So as I said, I will link some resources down below, like the CDC, to make sure that like if you guys have questions, definitely look at those resources, because they're really good resources and they have a lot of information. But yeah, I think that is all for my video today. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.